Right now in Nigeria, the political atmosphere is charged with strong words, sharp reactions, and serious conversations. Peter Obi has openly challenged certain decisions and policy directions of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and many people are describing the moment as a political earthquake. The reason is not violence, not crisis, but intensity. When a major opposition figure questions the authority and direction of a sitting president in clear and direct language, then it creates waves across the country. Peter Obi has been vocal about governance, economic management, and leadership priorities. He has questioned whether current reforms are producing visible relief for ordinary Nigerians. He has spoken about inflation, the rising cost of living, and the need for careful spending. His tone has been firm but structured. He presents his criticism as concern for national stability and long-term progress. When he speaks this way, that many of his supporters feel energized. They see him as holding the government accountable. They believe questioning leadership decisions is healthy in a democracy. And in truth, that is part of democratic structure. Opposition leaders are expected to ask questions. They are expected to challenge policies. That does not mean disrespect. It means engagement. At the same time, President Tinubu's administration remains confident in its strategy. The government continues to defend its economic reforms, saying that structural correction is necessary for sustainable growth. Supporters argue that difficult reforms may feel uncomfortable at first, but they are designed to fix long-standing economic weaknesses. This difference in perspective creates friction. Now let us slow this down and understand the deeper picture. Nigeria's economy has been adjusting. Fuel subsidy removal changed the pricing structure. As currency adjustments affected imports and business costs, revenue reforms are reshaping fiscal planning. These changes impact daily life. So naturally, political debate increases. Peter Obi has focused on the idea of production-driven growth. He emphasizes investment in local industries, cost efficiency, and accountability. When he questions the current administration, he frames it as a matter of responsible management. He asks whether the reforms are translating into measurable benefits for citizens. On the other hand, President Tinubu's camp emphasizes long-term strategy. They highlight infrastructure plans, fiscal discipline, and broader economic restructuring. They argue that temporary difficulty may be necessary for deeper stability. This back and forth is what media headlines describe as a political earthquake. But let us be clear. An earthquake in this context is metaphorical. It describes strong debate. It describes a shift in tone. It describes intensity. It does not describe chaos. We must also consider timing. Even though the next general election is still ahead, political positioning never stops. Leaders remain active. They build networks. They test public reaction. They strengthen their brand. When Peter Obi challenges the authority of the president, it may serve multiple purposes. It energizes his supporters. It signals that he remains politically active. It reminds Nigerians of his alternative vision. At the same time, the presidency must project stability. Strong response, measured communication, and consistent messaging become important. Authority in democracy is not only about power, it is also about perception. Another important layer is public mood. Nigerians are deeply aware of economic changes. Market prices influence conversations at home. Transportation costs affect daily budgets. Small business owners feel currency shifts. When daily life becomes harder, political statements gain more attention. So, when Obi speaks about hardship, people listen carefully. When the government speaks about reform benefits, people also listen carefully. Citizens compare both messages with their real-life experience. That comparison shapes opinion. Youth engagement is another powerful factor. Younger Nigerians are politically aware. They analyze speeches. They share clips online. They debate policies. And their energy can influence national direction significantly. If political debate continues at this level of intensity, youth participation could become even stronger in future elections. Regional balance also matters. Nigerian politics requires national representation. A serious challenge to authority must resonate beyond one region. It must speak to diverse groups. That is why political language is often carefully crafted. Then Peter Obi's challenge must expand beyond core supporters to create national momentum. President Tinubu's response must reassure supporters across multiple regions to maintain confidence. This is not a simple story of one man versus another. It is a story of competing visions for governance. Politics is often described as a chess game. Every move is calculated. Every statement has intention. Every silence also carries meaning. Authority in democracy is not weakened by questioning. In many cases, it is strengthened. When leaders respond to criticism with clarity and results, trust can grow. As this debate continues, Nigerians will observe carefully. They will measure speeches against performance. They will evaluate promises against reality. And ultimately, they will decide what direction they prefer. That is the power of democratic choice. For now, what we can say clearly is this. Peter Obi has spoken strongly. President Tinubu's administration stands by its reforms, saying public debate is active. Governance continues. There is no constitutional crisis. There is political intensity. Please remember to like this video and subscribe so you never miss detailed political updates.